Let's talk about one of the most underrated ways to get your magnesium in, through your skin. This video is all about transdermal magnesium, what it is, how it works, the different forms, how to use it, and whether it's actually worth your time. Okay, to start, what exactly is transdermal magnesium? Transdermal just means through the skin. So transdermal magnesium is magnesium that you apply to your skin, either by soaking in a magnesium-rich bath, using a lotion, or spraying it on. The idea is pretty simple. Instead of swallowing a supplement, you're letting your body absorb magnesium directly through your skin and into your tissue. Now, I have to say that there's been a bit of back and forth in the literature about whether transdermal magnesium even works. Early studies claimed that the skin couldn't absorb it because of its barrier function. And when you talk about it online, there will always be someone mentioning this. But more recent research has shown that magnesium can be absorbed through the skin when it's dissolved in water and delivered in the right form. It's one of those areas where the studies are catching up to what people have been reporting for years. Most people who try it themselves end up swearing by it because it's so helpful for things like better sleep, muscle cramps, improved recovery, and a calmer mood. So when something consistently works for such a large number of people, I believe that it's worth paying attention to. Let's now talk about how it works on a biochemical level. Your skin is not just a passive barrier, and it can actually absorb a variety of substances, especially when they're in a form that allows them to pass through the skin's lipid layers. Magnesium chloride and magnesium sulfate, the two most common forms used in transdermal products, are both water-soluble. When you soak your feet in a magnesium bath or use a lotion, then the magnesium dissolves into the moisture on your skin and finds its way through your capillaries. Now, some people absorb more than others depending on their skin's thickness, hydration, and even the temperature. But even if you're not absorbing 100%, experience shows that enough magnesium will get through to make a difference, especially when you're doing this regularly. I already mentioned it before, but there are different forms of transdermal magnesium. The first is magnesium lotion, and this is usually magnesium chloride. Magnesium chloride is a form of magnesium that is extracted from saltwater sources like the Dead Sea. It's known for being highly bioavailable, so that means your body can absorb and use it very easily. It's usually found in magnesium sprays, roll-ons, or lotions. Some people also call it magnesium oil, even though technically it's not an oil, it just feels that way on your skin. Magnesium chloride is especially effective if you apply it directly to areas where you feel tension or you have muscle cramps. That's why a lot of people rub it onto sore legs, shoulders, or their lower back, for example, after workouts. The second option is Epsom salts, so magnesium sulfate. This is the stuff that gets used in baths. It's made of magnesium, sulfur, and oxygen. The sulfur component adds its own benefits because sulfates support liver function and liver detoxification. Epsom salts are great for whole body soaks or foot baths. They're especially popular for relaxation, muscle recovery, and supporting better sleep. In terms of how to use them, there are three main ways that you can go about this. The first would be a full body bath, and you can do this about once a week. Here you would add about 1 to 2 cups of Epsom salts to a warm bath and then soak in it for at least 20 minutes. Specific data on this is hard to find, but it can provide around 500 milligrams of magnesium absorbed depending on your skin and the concentration of your bath. You can shower afterwards if you want, but you can also leave it on, but it will feel a bit sticky and could be irritating. Next is a foot soak, and you can do this up to 3 times per week. This is my personal favorite. It's less time consuming than a full bath, and you still get a good dose of magnesium since the skin on your feet is especially receptive to it. You want to use around 1 cup of Epsom salts in a large bowl with warm water and then soak your feet for at least 30 minutes. Here you could absorb around 150 to 300 milligrams of magnesium, again depending on your skin and how warm the water is. Generally, the warmer the better because it opens your pores. And lastly, we have magnesium lotions or sprays, and these can be done every day if you want. Just rub a few squirts on your skin, and similar to foot soaks, it will give you around 150 to 300 milligrams of magnesium. The absorption again can vary since, like I said before, certain areas are more receptive, like your feet and armpits, but many people report reduced cramps or less muscle soreness even when they use it on other body parts. Of course, you can also do all three of these methods in combination. For example, I do foot soaks once a week and use magnesium spray if I have sore muscles after a workout. Now, are there any side effects? Normally, transdermal magnesium is very safe. That's one of the great things about it. You're unlikely to overdose because your body tends to absorb just what it needs. That being said, some people can experience things like itchy or tingling skin when they use magnesium oils and they leave it on for too long. This is very common and usually means that your skin is a bit dry or sensitive. And you also don't want to put magnesium on parts of your body that you just shaved. This goes for both oil and Epsom salts. Theoretically, high doses of magnesium also cause loose stools, but I've never had this with transdermal magnesium because it doesn't gather in the intestine like supplements do. And the last thing to mention is that you will probably feel tired afterwards, especially if you do a full body bath. This is a nice side effect, of course, but also the reason that I wouldn't suggest doing it in the morning when you need to get going. To wrap up this video, let me give you my recommendations on transdermal magnesium. I've been doing weekly foot soaks for years and I love them. It's part of my wind down routine and definitely helps me sleep and relax. On top of that, I still take normal magnesium supplements because my body burns through a lot of magnesium every day. So for me, transdermal isn't a complete replacement, but more of a support strategy. Think of it as another tool in your toolbox. It's definitely something I recommend to people, especially if they have problems with magnesium uptakes from normal supplements. When you buy your magnesium, make sure to choose products that have been lab tested for purity. Low quality products can contain heavy metals or other contaminants, which you definitely don't want absorbing into your body. So look for reputable brands that clearly list their ingredients and also provide third-party testing results.